Welcome to the Don't Starve Survival Guide for Morons. If you are not said morons, welcome anyway. Today's guide is on seasons and how to survive them. First thing you need to do is go into options, find lag compensation, and turn that shit off. Before generating the world, get your mods in order. Some are just quality of life, some are just cheating. I really don't care what you use. Before the game starts, you must choose your character. Wolfgang is the best overall character. His upsides are insane, and his downsides are just upsides worded differently. The best combo of characters in order of importance is Wolfgang, Wickerbottom, Warthogs, and Weber. This is because the Wickerbottom can mass produce the food that Wolfgang needs, and Warthogs can take souls from what Wolfgang kills, which he can use for AoE healing. The Weber can make spider nests, which can also be used to farm souls. Or late game Weber can just send his invincible army in to do the dirty work for you. Another combo that works is Wolfgang, 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 and Wolfgang. Sustaining yourself in this game is really no issue, especially with a character that can hunt so well as Wolfgang. Here's my tier list for reference. This is just a basic survival guide. This will mostly cover the bare minimum, so things like caves, ruins, and extra bosses will not be covered. You should already know the steps. Gather resources, chop tree, mine rock. Find your way to some pig houses and hammer them down. The pigs will not become hostile from this. If you see any pig heads, hammer those too. After you've hammered a good amount, place a science machine. Make a backpack and spear. Prototype an alchemy engine. Don't place it. Smash the science machine and search for a track. Hunt the koelephant by trapping it in the corner. Hit it only once, then run away to bait its attack. After that, hit it 5 times and then step back. You can hit it 6 times with 0 lag. Repeat until dead. Harvest meat and trunk. And now it's finally time to establish your first base. You don't want to set up next to the portal just because it's the portal. There are many factors you should consider before making your base. This time I got lucky and the portal is in a pretty good location. There's a rock field over here, beefalo here, desert here, pig king here, swamp here. There's also a good supply of spider sacks down here. You should wait a few more days for them to ripen. After you've chosen your location, build that alchemy engine you prototyped, and a fire pit. Use the alchemy engine to prototype a football helmet and a ham bat. The football helmet will give you a damage resistance of 80%. The ham bat does nearly double the damage of the spear and has infinite uses, instead of having an expiration meter. The more expired it is, the less damage it will do, but the resources to make more are easily renewable. If you have a Wickerbottom, she can produce these without the alchemy engine and just a basic science machine because she has an extra tier of science by default. And just like that, on day 3 you're already overpowered. Your next order of business should be to locate some clockworks. They often hang out in these marble areas. The most common you'll see are rooks and knights. Bishops are slightly more rare. To kill a knight, bait its attack, step back, hit once, repeat. You can hit twice with 0 lag. They will try to bait your attack in the same manner. When you dodge, make sure not to go too far away. Rooks can be defeated by baiting their charge until they lose interest. When they start to hop back home, run up to them and hit them 3 times, then run away and step to the side. Repeat until dead. There were no bishops, but you should just tank them. You can't dodge their projectile without a massive speed boost, but if you have said speed boost, run directly away from them and then step to the side. Use your required gears to create 2 or 3 ice boxes. Do not use them all. If you did, go get more. Find a nice isolated forest to burn down and harvest the charcoal. Mine a bunch of rocks. Create 4 to 6 crock pots. By now, some spider nests have matured enough to be reasonably harvested. Find some level 2 spider nests. Either set up some traps or attack directly. The spider can be defeated by simply holding the attack button down. Your attack will stun it. In a level 2 spider nest, they will be accompanied by spider warriors, who are much more tanky and have a jumping attack. They will not be stunned by your attack. Hit 5 times and dodge. Repeat until dead. Gather everything they drop. Silk, glands, meat, you want it all. Destroy the nest for more silk. Unless you have a Weber, spider nests cannot be created, only destroyed. But you shouldn't worry about destroying things like this. If you just don't get too greedy, it'll never come to bite you in the ass. Use your silk to make a top hat. Use traps to gather 4 bunnies. Make Prestihatitator. At this point, By now, icebergs should be starting to form. Gather all the ice you can, line your pockets with it. Fill at least one of your ice boxes with nothing but ice. You can combine 3 ice with 1 monster meat in the crock pot for meatballs, which is a really good food source. Ice will spawn for most of the year, so it will never really be a problem in the summer. Eventually, hounds will attack on a random day. Hounds can be defeated by hitting twice and stepping back, and repeat until dead. Hounds are actually very beneficial because they deliver you monster meat and hound's teeth, which will be very useful to you. Gather all of them. Your preparations are nearly complete. You should seek green caps and eat them. They will reduce your sanity by 50 each. Farm shadow monsters for a few days. Shadow monsters can be defeated by baiting their attack, hitting once. Hold down the attack button in case they teleport inside of you. Lastly, you should search for a living tree or a tree guard if you're lucky. This is not a requirement to be finished by the end of autumn. You can keep looking into winter. Tree guards can be defeated by baiting attack and then hitting 4 times. Repeat until dead. You want their living logs to make a shadow manipulator. You will also need a purple gem, which can be attained by killing a bishop or digging a grave. You can also combine red and blue gems to make one. Finally, make a second fire pit and put it next to your first fire pit. Put a thermal stone right between them. Winter gear is entirely irrelevant, but I'll usually make it just to plan Z anyway. Congratulations, you've survived fall, just like everyone else ever has. Making it to winter was the easy part. Surviving it is the even easier part. Most of what you'll be doing in winter is waiting for it to be over. Stand with your thermal stone between the fire pits. Once you start overheating and seeing the effect on the side of your screen, it's ready. It will keep you warm all by itself, and will also illuminate you just enough to keep the darkness from hurting you. It will only lose durability when it's gray. This is a good time to get done some more menial tasks. I suggest digging up every berry bush you can find. The most important thing is to search for McTusk. His camp will have this icon on the map. He will be accompanied by his son and 2 frost hounds. It's likely you've found a pan flute by now. If you haven't, Wickerbottom's Sleepytime Stories book can accomplish the same thing. Send McTusk and the gang to sleep and murder him and the wolves. McTusk will take 5 hits from a nightmare sword and will be stunned the whole time. If you didn't send him to sleep, chase after him. Like the rook, he will continually run until losing interest and slowly walking back home. At this point, stun him to death. He has a 25% chance to drop the Tam O'Shanter, which has the same insulation as a winter hat and is the best sanity restoring clothing item in the game. The real prize is his tusk, which has a 50% chance to drop. With it you can craft the walking stick, which gives you a 25% speed boost. Easily one of the top 3 best items in the game. If you did not get what you wanted or need more walking sticks for your group, he will respawn every 20 minutes. Gather pingle eggs, but make sure they're asleep first. Make bird trap and bird cage for even more eggs. Do not put the eggs in the icebox, let them expire. They make good fertilizer and you can craft explosives with them. Deer clops will always spawn on day 30. Run away from your base so he doesn't wreck it. Very simple boss. Hit 3 times, run far away to dodge. 4 times if you have a walking stick and switch quickly. The graphic of his attack is actually very deceptive. On death, he will drop 8 meat and the deer clop's eyeball. You can only get 1 eyeball per year. You can use it to make an umbrella, which will provide 100% rain resistance, and also keep you cool in summer. You can also make the Houndiest Shootiest if you've taken the horn from the Ancient Guardian. It's pretty much a sentry gun. You can also eat the eyeball, but if I catch you doing it, I'm gonna snap your neck. Make the umbrella. Work it out amongst yourselves who gets to use it. Everyone else can avoid the rain by wearing a football helmet and holding a basic umbrella. Don't let the umbrella die, repair it with sewing kits. Use your remaining gears to create some ice fling-o-matics. Make sure they cover your farms and crafting stations while not covering your fire pits. You should also build some lightning rods. They stop lightning from destroying your stuff and also provide light when charged. The Pingles should start leaving around the end of winter. Do some rounds and gather the eggs they left behind. Most of them will be rotten, but that's okay. Congratulations, you have survived winter. That wasn't so hard, was it? It sure wasn't, because this is the hard part. Welcome to spring, and it's already raining. Trust me, you do not want to get wet. Keep your thermal stone for a few days. It'll still be freezing for a while. All bees will become killer bees during this season, including your bee-box bees. At this point, there should finally be some level 3 spider nests about. I do not recommend assaulting them directly anymore. Use traps. Once you've cleared the nest, destroy it. You can finally relocate it. Don't place it near your home. Place it somewhere where they can get in conflict with another enemy. This works great with swamps. You can also leave a surprise for McTusk next year. This is the season of farming, since rain makes crops grow 3 times faster than usual, and it's almost always raining. Continue to gather wood and berries. Meat bulbs will start spawning where you've been before. Gather them. They are absolute powerhouses of automated farming. Once the temperature has become stable, put your thermal stone in an ice box. The boss of this season is the moose goose. It will spawn in one of its nests, which looks like a pile of twigs on the ground. It can be completely ignored. It's an annoying fight, and the drops are only really good for one weapon that's good for one boss, which drops useless items itself. Just don't. Luck was on my side, and I never got Frog Rain. Frog Rain is pretty much the reason why this season is so bad. It's pretty much what it sounds like. The frogs will rain down on your base, and there will be a lot of them. Even if you evacuate immediately, there will still be an infestation when you return, and there's not even any warning to it. It just kind of happens. Hitting one frog will activate the frog hive mind, and all of them in the area will rush you to death. Even the moose goose won't stand much chance if you successfully instigate a war between them. Congratulations, you've survived spring. Preparing for summer isn't really needed, because you already had everything you need by the end of winter. Well, here we are, and nobody's even burned anything down yet. And if you've done everything right, neither will the heat. You have a few days before you'll need to grab the thermal stone out of the fridge. In the meantime, craft some fishing rods and an endothermic fire pit. Cactus flowers will blossom. Collect them. The boss of the season needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. The antlion will spawn in the desert, and the desert will also be shrouded by a sandstorm. If left unchecked, it will grow angry, and cause sinkholes and cave-ins. They will destroy structures and damage players. You can stop him doing this by bribing him with rocks or killing him. You should kill him. Make your way to the desert with the fishing rods and supplies to build another endothermic fire. Explore until you find the desert oasis and start fishing. You'll get a good amount of fish from this, but what you really want is crumpled packages. They can have trinkets, or more importantly, blueprints. Keep fishing until you get the fashion goggles and desert goggles blueprints. Desert goggles will negate the slowness and blindness of the desert. About a quarter into summer, turn on the ice fling-o-matics and keep them filled with wood. They will prevent wildfires and withering. Return to the desert and kill the antlion. To begin the fight, bring a fully cooled thermal stone and feed it to him. Then start attacking him. If you've been collecting rotten eggs like I said, come with a stack of around 35 gunpowder and place it next to him before the fight, and detonate them during the fight. This won't be enough to kill him outright, but will prevent the items from burning when you finally do kill him. Otherwise, bring 2 or 3 nightmare swords. The Wolfgang can easily just tank the fight with a football helmet and some marble armor. Very simple boss battle. Just avoid the very telegraph spikes and whack him like a tree until dead. He will drop some meat, desert stones, and the lazy deserter blueprint. The lazy deserter is a 2-way teleporter. One person has to be channeling on the other end for you to teleport. This can be done from anywhere if you're carrying around the desert stones. And that's it. Just like that, all the threat of summer has been disabled. All that's left now is to keep in mind your temperature. Eat ice, use your thermal stone, use your umbrella. It's at this point I would usually begin transitioning into the caves, because in the caves you can remain cool without any kind of summer gear. I won't be doing that here, because if I started explaining the caves, it would be half the video. Congratulations, you made it a whole year doing the bare minimum. I would be proud of you if it was a particularly difficult task. Alright, video over.